Good morning. So I haven't done an update in a while. It's cold out here today. It's muddy. It rained yesterday. I was out here working yesterday on the Kubota, but it just got to be too sloppy. I was doing the driveway up there. But anyways, our trusses just got delivered. Unfortunately, our framer's not going to be able to start until the second week in January. His other job got held up, and he was going to be out of town next week, like the week of between Christmas and New Year's. So he wasn't going to be able to work that week anyways, and he was going to start ours the week before this week. He was going to start today actually, and go ahead and frame up the basement and probably try to set the floor trusses for the first floor. But anyways, he called me the other day and said, hey, I'm not going to be able to, like, my other job is run over. We had materials delays and I couldn't finish it when I wanted to finish it, so I can't start yours until this one's done. And he's like, I'll finish this one up the week I get back, because he'll be back. He said he'll be back the 3rd from being out of town for the holidays, and then he's going to finish up that week. Maybe he'll be done before the end of the week. He's not really sure, and then he can come start on our job. So kind of stinks. It puts us behind schedule a little bit, but our trusses got dropped. I scheduled the rest of the lumber order to wait a little bit. So we'll have to wait on that. But unfortunately, these are wrong. Gotta love construction. So the way we poured our slab is where our front porch is, we actually poured those walls 10 feet tall, and on the back side of the house, they're 9 feet tall. And I sent those revisions to the lumber company, and they even came out and measured, and we talked about it when they measured. Essentially, our front wall trusses are supposed to be top bearing trusses, which means they bear on the top cord of the truss. The weight bears on the top cord, not the bottom of the cord. And then on the back side, the back wall of the house, they're going to sit on top of the wall, and they'll bear on the bottom cord of the truss, like normal, quote unquote normal, right? You can design trusses however you want. So we got a problem here in that these trusses are not, these are bottom bearing trusses on both ends. They're not top bearing. So they didn't do them right. This isn't right. So I called the lumber guys, like, dude, these aren't right. This is not what we talked about. This is not what we ordered. So they built all these trusses wrong. Not all of them. Some of them are okay, but some of them they're gonna have to redo the truss because they're not top bearing on one end, and that's not good. So we got to fix that. We've got a little bit of time. We got a few weeks to fix this. I called him, let him know that they're wrong, and we'll see what happens. But so give you a little update since the last videos. Been kind of smoothing things out around here. We cut a lot of this gravel out because we had used this driveway, if you recall, for man, it's squishy and wet out here today. We had used this driveway originally for the pump truck to get down here when we poured the footings. So man, it is sloppy out here. So we took all that gravel out, those 34s. We dumped them around here. We're gonna just spread them out around the basement area here up against the slab, and fill that area with gravel. The slab is like a swimming pool right now because, again, it rained yesterday. As you can see here, it's sloppy. Thank God for these muck boots, man. These are a lifesaver. But yeah, we've got a lot of water around this site here today from all the rain we had yesterday. Ooh, squish. So, wow, this is squishing down good. So we're gonna finish this up today. You see our pretty slab there. And we will finish scraping out the driveway. We've got some gravel on the way for the driveway up there because we're gonna gravel just all the way to, man, this is just so sloppy. We're gonna gravel all the way to the garage area put that base down. And then whenever we go to do the driveway, we're gonna bring in a compactor and we'll just run over that gravel and just pack it in to the dirt real tight and get when we're running our grade for our driveway in a few months, when we actually go to pour concrete, we'll just pack all that in tight. So anyways, we got the SVL 97 here with the smooth bucket on, and we are gonna try to work on some more gravel here today. I worked on it yesterday, and I also had to replace one of my pipes. As I mentioned in a previous video, the concrete guys proceeded to just obliterate one of my pipes that I had running across the front edge of the garage. Man, that is a puddle right there, that's for sure. There's another puddle there. So I had a pipe, you can see that one there that's tied up, running across here, and when they put the forms in for this garage slab, they literally put every single one of their stakes into my pipe all the way down. After I told them and warned them that there's a pipe there, don't put your stakes there, set your forms a little bit further back and extend them out, like don't mess up my pipe. What did they do? They messed up my pipe. People don't freaking listen. So anyways, that's construction. People don't listen. A lot of subs just don't care. They just do what they're told, and sometimes they don't do what they're told. They do what they're gonna do and don't really care what you have to say. And then they get mad when you call them back to come fix the problem that they created, and they wonder why are you know, it's like, well, you created the problem. So anyways, I had to put another pipe in. So I dug out a trench with the skid steer the other day, and then just sort of hand dug it out. And we ran a pipe just kind of right down here, right in the front, just right where my finger is, all the way down. And it comes out, I put a Y in it, ties in right here, and then it comes out down there, and that's for the gutters on this side, the downspouts there. And then we'll put, God, my feet are like 3 more pounds of weight from all this mud. Oh my gosh, it's so sloppy out here. Ugh. My foot's just like sinking down like 2 inches. There'll be another downspout right here, so we'll have to dig in some pipes and run them. I'll do that later. I don't need to, that one's not that far of a run, so I can dig that later. It's not a huge undertaking. So today we're gonna, I guess, try to grade, but man, it is so sloppy out here, so sloppy. So Andy will be here in a little bit, but fun times at the construction site. Got to figure out our trusses and get that worked out, and then get this gravel spread on this driveway and hopefully get this rolling. So that's the plan. All right, guys. Okay, sunset. It's like 4:30, the end of the day. Today is the 22nd of December. Andy came out here today, ran his machine. We're kind of doing some final grading. What's this? I decided to park my truck in the spot she will be in the future. And then what's all that? The big pile of dirt's gone. So we've got gravel all the way to the road. So no more muddy tire tracks. Well, we'll still have some mud, but this is way better. So we finished graded this area here. This is the turnaround area in the driveway. Graded it out. We cut into this bank a little bit more. We made our berm at the top of the bank there. So we've got a sort of a drainage swale berm here to capture any water that might come off of her yard. And then we cut this bank back. I had done it before, just roughly at a steep angle. So we cut it back further, smoothed it out. So now it's nice and angled. We cut this all the way out to where it needs to be. And then we brought in a truckload of crush and run, or GAB, today, and spread that out on top of this. And then we sprinkled some, we've got probably, I don't know, maybe 2 inches of 57 stone on top of this. The good thing about this is mostly hard pack, like virgin soil under here. There's a little bit of fill over there, and it's still a little mushy from all the rain. There's a little bit, it's really mushy right here. But that'll settle out as it dries. We actually put a lot of crush and run right in there in that wet spot, because that'll soak it up. And then we just basically we scraped this and spread the gravel out. So we brought in the crush and run and then the 57 stone. We did a truckload of each, and we've got it run there. So just to give you an idea, from this front corner of the front porch to the road is about 145 feet. And then the porch is 13 feet deep, and then the house is 27 feet to that corner of the garage. And then the garage is 36 feet, so we're 30, 74, I think it's 85 feet. So we're about 200 and, what was it, 145 was 84. Yeah, so 225 feet, essentially, thereabouts, 220, 225 feet, somewhere in there, of concrete from the street all the way to the end of the driveway. And then, mind you, we're going to have a 2-car garage right here that will go from here to there across the back. So this will go straight into the 2-car garage. Working on plans for that, getting all that approved and all that stuff. And like I mentioned, I think I mentioned in previous videos, what I'm going to do is just go ahead and do the concrete, do the foundation, and do the slab for this garage. And I don't know that I'm going to build the structure right away, but I'm going to go ahead and get the concrete in while we've got this. We'll bring in trucks in here before we pave this. That way we're not messing anything up, and then I can bring in the lumber later and drop it off. Since the previous video, I talked to the lumber company about the screwed up trusses because they didn't do the order right. And somehow the guy that is in charge of like actually making the trusses says that he never got the email communication with the changes to the order, but my rep's like, no, I forwarded that all to him, because I sent it to the engineer and my lumber rep, and then they sent it in for the order for the trusses. So he says he never got it, because I had sent them a notification email that we were going to change things. And then after we poured concrete, I sent them another email where I actually took the house plan and I color coded part of the house plan and said, hey, this wall height is 10 feet. This is 9 feet, did it different colors, sent that to them. They said, okay, great. They came out and measured. Somehow something got lost in translation. Doesn't matter. They're going to fix it. Fortunately, with the delay in the framer, we've got enough time to fix that. So he's going to come out here on Monday. Obviously, this is Wednesday and Christmas is on, was it Friday or Saturday? So getting a little close to Christmas, he's going to come after Christmas. He's going to come out here and check it out, measure everything. We'll be able to use some of the trusses still, because they're not like right here. The trusses actually change direction over here, and in this part of the basement they run this way, and then in this part of the basement they run front to back. And then over there on the other side of the porch, those will be okay to run from front to back, but they're gonna have to redo all of them from this point all the way to that point right there. They're gonna have to fix all those trusses. So he said they might just remake them, or they might modify them on site. We don't really know, but essentially we got to cut a little bit off the end of them and then put a heel on them and blah, 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 blah. So it's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to fix it. They're going to have to make it right. So we'll figure out what they do. They'll figure out a solution and they'll take care of it. They're bad. I mean, I more than communicated to them. So I don't know where the ball dropped, but it dropped somewhere. So it happens. So anyways, all right, guys, we'll pretty much done here for the week. It's still a muddy mess, as you can see. So Andy's going to come back maybe after Christmas, maybe next week. It's not supposed to rain the rest of the week. Maybe he'll come by this weekend or Friday. I don't really know. I mean, he's got to check with his wife on their Christmas calendar, but we've just got to sort of flatten and smooth this out a little bit. We dumped a little bit of fill in here. We took most of that fill dirt that was over here and dropped it right there. We'll smooth this out, flatten it out, get it nice and smooth. And then as you can see down there, we took all that 34 stone that was on this driveway over there and scraped it up, and we brought it down here and dumped it in piles. We're going to spread it out around the basement apron there. Once it all dries out, it's just really sloppy and muddy down there. We'll smooth all that out down there, get that all smoothed out, and then we got to start getting rid of fill dirt. We'll use a little bit of it in the front yard. I talked to the septic guy. Once he puts a septic field in and it's approved and everything, his warranty will cover up to 6 feet of fill on top of it, so we're good there. but I don't really need that much fill, so we're going to give some of this away. Basically free fill dirt to someone who wants to come get it and load it up. So we'll get rid of a lot of that fill dirt because we have some more down here. And we might use a little bit of it in the back here, in the way back, but we can't do that until after the silt fence is gone when we do our final landscaping. So anyways, all right guys, well thanks for checking in, and we'll talk to you later. Have a good night. All right, so today's Monday, the 27th. Update. So today I worked out here a little bit, went and ridden a Dingo TX1000 to get in this area right here because it's just too small for a big machine to get into and turn around and all that stuff. That machine's way more maneuverable. So as you can see here, I actually went and got a load of, I got about 5 tons of 57 stone delivered here and just dumped them out here. This is going to be underneath our deck. So I figured I'll just go ahead and load it in now while I can. Because if I try to do it in the future, I'm going to have to shovel it all in there, and I don't really want to do that. So smoothed all that out, spread out some 57 stone gravel. So that'll be underneath the deck. We got gravel under the deck. Smoothed this part out right here. Kind of smoothed all this stuff out there. Spread out the remaining gravel there. And then I also came down here and spread out the 34s. Has a little more topsoil in it than I would have liked. Hopefully the rain will wash that in. It's a little mucky. We're gonna need some more gravel in here and pack this in. I spread it all out there because we had those piles. We actually scraped it from that driveway over there. Spread this out, so got that all spread out. We'll sprinkle some fresh gravel on top of that, cover up some of the mud, and I also took out the form board while I had the machine here. I just used the Dingo hydraulics to lift that piece of plywood form board out of there, get it out of my way. So that's done. Lumber company was supposed to come over here this morning and meet me about the trusses, about redoing the trusses, but he never showed up, and then got back to me later and said he's gonna meet me tomorrow. So hopefully tomorrow he shows up. But either way, we're gonna meet them tomorrow. They've got to get these trusses figured out. Framers start on the 10th of January. So we're pretty much wrapped up over here in terms of final grade. We're gonna go take this, scrape off the rest of this pile of dirt. Andy's getting the 75 back from the shop tomorrow. They had to fix the windshield. It was like coming loose. So he's getting that tomorrow. So we're gonna come out here with the 75 and the 97. We're gonna scoop a bunch of that and actually load it down here, make a pile down here in the back. And then we're going to spread some of that out, even that out, and then give away a lot of that dirt as well. So that's the plan over there. We'll see how that works out. And now I've got to go to the grocery store. So, all right, guys, talk to you later. Good morning. It's like 7:30 in the morning. Pouring down rain. We had some nice thunderstorms last night. All of our lumber is getting dropped today because if we wait until next week, after the first of the year, the price goes up significantly. So we get to buy all of our lumber all at once and have it dropped all at once so that we don't have to spend significantly more money. Let's see here. He said it was like a 30 or 40% increase in price. So that would be another 15 grand in lumber. So we're getting it all dropped today. We got all of our lumber dropped. We made some ruts here. You can tell where this is a little bit of fill. We had to fill in a low spot. This is all solid underneath here though. Got our eye joists for the second floor. Lumber for everything else. 2x6s because we're doing 2x6 walls everywhere. 2x4s for the interior walls. Pressure treated lumber for the back deck. 6x6s. I am gonna have to get a longer. We'll have to get a like a 12-foot 6x6 for that bottom post down there because these aren't going to be long enough. We'll actually probably swap some of these out because we don't need We need all these. Some of these are for the front porch. 2x6s, 2x6s, 2x10s. Got some 2x6s there, 2x8s. So for our roof and all that stuff, you got Vantech subfloor, zip system sheathing, lots of zip for the walls and the roof deck. Yeah. Telehandlers here.